Denzel Ward back on the practice field, trending towards being able to play for the Browns first time in a couple weeks. Jim Schwartz, Browns defensive coordinator, talked about dealing with the absence of Ward in this defense.
It does change some of your positions, like Greg Newsome went from playing the slot to outside, and then we were replacing the slot, and then the next week he went back to the slot, and then the other guys were outside. So continuity-wise, there is a little bit of that, but he's just a really good player and was playing at a really, really high level. And, you know, anytime you take a player like that away from you or away from your group, there's going to be some adjustments and things like that. We don't have any excuses. Our standard is the same regardless of who's playing, but excuses and reasons are different things, right? And Denzel means an awful lot to us. If we're able to get him back this week, I'm sure that'll give us a boost. If he's not, then we're going to have to figure out other ways to compensate and to be able to play, because the other teams also know when Denzel's out there.
Now let's welcome in Trevor Sikkema from Pro Football Focus, co-host of the NFL Stock Exchange podcast. Trevor, the man-to-man coverage in Denzel, that it kind of fits with what they want to do relative to getting pressure on the quarterback from the defensive line.
Yeah, no, 100%. And Jim's obviously right. He doesn't need me to tell him this, but Denzel is one of the best corners in the NFL. He's one of the most talented players that are at that position. And the reason why you could say that so confidently is because asking a corner to play man-on-man against receivers throughout an entire game is a very difficult task. There's only a certain amount of corners in this league who can do that against NFL caliber athletes at wide receiver. Ward's one of them. And when you have those types of players who, whether it's one guy who can go shut down their best wide receiver or whether it's just scheme across the board, you get a lot of man coverage corners. The more of those guys that you have, the more aggressive that you can get in your front. And I think that we have seen that throughout certainly the early parts of this season. It's when you marry that aggressive coverage with the aggressiveness that you have in the front seven that you get the results that Cleveland's been able to have as one of the best defenses in the NFL this season. So there's no doubt about it that Denzel is just as paramount to getting after the quarterback or generating pressure as some of those guys are up front, who are the ones who are getting the sacks in the backfield.